Alright folks, thanks for checking out this video. This is another Toccoa River float. We're going to just talk about a stretch of the river that you could float in a day. This is going to be Curtis Switch right here on my cursor, all the way down to Horseshoe Bend Park. This is about a 6-hour float. It's all maybe a little bit longer than the dam to Curtis Switch. I've got another video up on that, so check my channel if you want to see that. Type of fishing here, basically bass and trout. You're going to catch river bass. You're also going to catch trout. They've got brown trout and rainbow trout in this river as well too. So without too much jabber for me, we're going to get right into it. Curtis Switch, Horseshoe Bend, total time is about 6 hours. Total distance is roughly 6 miles. Here's your launch location on Curtis Switch. We'll go up to Horseshoe Bend real quick. Again, the best way to float these stretches of rivers, go with a friend, go with a few friends, take 2 vehicles, park 1 vehicle downstream, like down here at Horseshoe Bend Park. Here's going to be your parking area. Everyone meet down here, pile everything into 1 truck, 1 vehicle, whatever, and then drive up to Curtis Switch. Here's where you're going to launch. That way when you float, you're just floating down to your car. You don't have any transportation issues when you get off the river. So you'll put in here, this river is a very mild river. A lot of it's very clear and very shallow. You'll be able to see fish, and the river backs up to both wilderness areas and residential areas. You never want to get out on foot in someone's backyard or residential area. It's a good way to get yelled at. But you're okay fishing on the river, so don't let anybody tell you different. You can put in here at Curtis Switch as you go on down. As you see, there's no real rapids to worry about, and you get into some nice stretch of wilderness areas here. Just like the previous video from the Blue Ridge Dam to Curtis Switch, there's also going to be these residential areas that back up to the river. There may also be feeders, so keep an eye out for those. These are machines that are on timers that kick out fish food. Big trout, schools of trout typically love to hang around those feeders, and they know what time it goes off. So that is definitely something to take into account. So as we're going down, as you can see, a lot of this is shoals. It's very, very easy to navigate a kayak in some of these. Can't get too great a detail, but that's, these aren't really whitewater. These are shoals. You always want to wear your life jacket though, so definitely wear your life jacket. These things you see in the river here are rocks. These trout, they love hanging out around rocks and ledges and fallen timber. And we are going to cruise on down. This looks like a little bit of slack water right through here. Some more shoals. Again, no real classed rapids to speak of. Lures that I like to use on this particular river are going to be small trout imitations, worms. I've caught some nice bass just fishing a finesse worm. You don't need a whole lot of weight because the river's fairly shallow, but if you want to fish in deeper spots, you might need a little bit of it. There's some real nice houses in here as well too. Let's see. As we go on down, again, shoals, and just like that, Horseshoe Bend. So that's it. That's a float from Curtis Switch to Horseshoe Bend. Again, roughly 6 miles. Curtis Switch is right here. Roughly 6 miles and roughly 6 hours. The water release on the Toccoa is not near as drastic as the water release on the Chattahoochee River. So you could paddle this during when they're releasing water. It's not too bad. It's a little bit quicker than it is when they're not. So that's not going to be a huge concern for you this far down the river. So thanks for checking out the video. Let me know if you have any questions. Please like, please subscribe, and y'all take care. Tight lines.